Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about sickle cell disease, which is something that I have and I know that other people have it as well. I also do want to say, do research on sickle cell. You don't have to get that into it, but just by watching this video you could learn a little more about it, and that's educating yourself right there, and that's taking a big step. I filmed this video like 4 times already and I just can't seem to get the words out, but I'm going to try my best. So first, what is sickle cell? Sickle cell is an inherited red blood cell disorder in which your red blood cells are not healthy enough to carry oxygen throughout the body. To give a better explanation of that, basically, normal people, their red blood cells are shaped like a circle, meaning they're able to flow throughout the veins easily. And my blood cells, or anybody with sickle cell disease, their blood cells are sickle, which means that it's shaped like a crescent moon, and it's not able to easily flow throughout the body. Because the cells are shaped like a crescent moon, it causes the blood to be sticky and clot easily, which then leads to a crisis. Crisis is an episode where you are paralyzed in pain. You can have a crisis anywhere where blood flows. So you can have a crisis in your eye, your ear, which I've had a few crises in my ear when I walk to school and it's really cold. You can have a crisis in your foot, your leg, your elbow, literally anywhere where blood flows, you can have a crisis. So with sickle cell, either you can have the full disease or you can have the trait, and I have the full disease, which is SS, and if you have the trait, that is AS. And if you don't have any of it, which means you don't have any sickle cell gene, that is AA. Just to get scientific for a little bit, if one parent has a trait and another parent doesn't, there's a 50% chance that your child will have a trait, or a 50% chance that you won't have the trait. The second type is if both parents have the trait, there's a 25% chance that the baby will not be affected, a 25% chance that the baby will have the full-blown disease, which is what I have, and there will be a 50% chance that the baby has the trait. And if one parent has a trait and the other parent has disease, there's a 50% chance that the child will have the trait and another 50% chance that the child will have the disease. And if one parent has the sickle cell disease and one parent doesn't, there's a 100% chance that your child will have the trait. So now that I'm done with the scientific stuff, I'm going to get into my personal experience with sickle cell. I do want to talk about my hospital visits. I usually stay in the hospital from around a week to 2 weeks. It depends on how bad it is. Usually when I go to the hospital with the problem, they take me in because I have sickle cell and they want to monitor that closely because, you know, it could be something else. So I really don't have much to say about hospital visits because I don't go to the hospital as frequently. So I believe my sickle cell is mild. My experience is a little better than most kids. So whenever I have a crisis that I talked about before, it usually feels like shooting pain. And the best way I could describe that is, imagine if there's a firework in your arm and they set it off like just back to back, and a firework just shoots up your arm back and forth constantly, one after the other, no breaks, just continuously shooting up your arm or down your leg, wherever the crisis is. That's what it feels like to me, and that's the best way that I can describe it. I can have a crisis if I just go to the pool and the water is a little too cold, or if I am in the snow, or even, like I said, like when I walked to school, I had one before. I could have a crisis because I move my body a little too fast. It all depends on different situations. So how I treat it, I would say that I, of course, take my medicine, I eat a little healthier, and I drink a lot of water. I'm going to show you guys something. I believe that me drinking water is a big factor as to why I have less crises and why I'm not in a hospital as much. I drink about 2 of these a day, 2 or more of these, but this is 40 ounces. So 2 of these a day is 80 ounces, and 80 ounces is 10 cups. That means that I'm getting way more water than I need, and I'm probably drinking around half a gallon or a gallon a day. If you have sickle cell, try to drink as much water as you can. Also, try to take vitamin C, especially around flu season and around times like these during coronavirus, because vitamin C is just going to help build your immune system. I also suggest that you get more fruits and veggies in your diet because that can help a lot. If you can, try to get exercise. You can walk around the block, go on a jog, do some yoga, because yoga will help. So due to me having sickle cell, some days I am very tired, and sometimes I just don't want to talk. Well, I don't like to talk in general, but there are just some days where I go in my room just because I'm tired and I want to lay down to sleep. And there's other times where I don't even want to go out and people think I'm lazy, but I'm not. I'm just tired. And speaking of that, I just want to say that I'm very blessed to be able to share my testimony with you guys and speak about this, because I am able to do a lot of stuff that other people with sickle cell is not able to do, and I feel very lucky or blessed, I should say, to be able to do this. And because I'm able to do this, I feel like I should share my story. My junior year, I played softball. My doctors, they weren't that fond of me doing that because of all the risks, but they did let me. I just had to be a little cautious, and I had to let my coaches and my nurse know what is going on and why I had to stop sometimes. But I do want to say that even though I do have sickle cell, I was able to perform as well as other kids. Of course, I was a little slower, I needed more breaks, and sometimes I couldn't do a lot of things. But for the most part, I played like any other player, and you probably wouldn't be able to tell that there's anything going on. So like I said, being able to play sports, I believe that I'm still able to live a normal, happy life. And even if you do have sickle cell and it's a little worse, you can still live a normal, happy life. So although I do have sickle cell, I could choose to be sad about it or happy about it, because, well, not happy, but satisfied with life, because this is not something I chose. Of course, it's not anything that anybody chooses, but I have it and it's nothing that I can change. I mean, like I said before, I have it mildly. It's not as severe as other people, so I'm right in the middle. And I just take the positives out of how I can share my story, how I can bring awareness, and just how blessed I am that it's not as severe. So I take all those and I try to stay as happy, because obviously, most definitely nothing that I chose to have. But with my doctor's appointments, I honestly hate going to my doctor's appointments because they're so draining. Even if I don't do anything, it just sucks to go somewhere and hear about it all the time, or find out that they found something new or different for me to probably take medication for me to run more tests. Like every single time I go to the doctors, I feel like I have to take one more test and another test after the other, and it's just draining because other people do not have to go to the doctor as much as I do, but I have to go 4 times a year, 6 times a year, 1,000 times a year. At first, I never really hated the doctors, but now that they found other stuff, it's like I have to go to more doctors, and every time I go to those doctors, I have to get tests, or they change the dosage of my prescription, or they change what medication I'm on. And it just makes me feel like a guinea pig, because why can't I just keep the same thing and get on? I don't feel bad that I have sickle cell. I really don't. I'm sure that my family doesn't, and maybe my friends, because you know they're my friends. If they do, then I'm sorry, I'm not trying to speak for nobody, but I don't feel bad personally because I live with it and I know what I'm able to do even though I have this going on in my body. And honestly, I can say that I am very happy with life. I just don't look like it, which I need to work on. But yeah, sickle cell is definitely not a very common disease. Not a lot of people know about it, but I am so glad that I have a hospital that knows how to treat it and that knows a lot about it. Well, I don't know how much they know about it, but from what I know, they know exactly what to do. And of course, there's always new stuff going around. Y'all probably didn't want to know that, but thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and if you have sickle cell disease or a trait, make sure you comment down below, maybe share your experience or just talk about it. I did make this video to bring awareness, so if you can, try to spread the word. Try to get sickle cell mainstream, just how cancer and asthma is. Not saying that sickle cell is more important than any other disease, and not saying that any other disease is more important than sickle cell. They're all at the same level. They all matter. Oh my gosh. I did not just say that. Oh wait, this isn't about race. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video. If this video has informed you, make sure you comment down below.